I'd say that's as bad as it gets, but I think I've actually seen worse and probably will see worse going forward. Hi, everybody. Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, and Bad Guy over there. That was fun.
The chat is already on fire. You guys are the best. Seriously.
Everyone.
Greg, I think you could still talk through that bag. Let's see if that works. How does that work? Say hi to the people.
Kill me.
Yeah, that's.
It's good to laugh when you're rather than having a sports cry, because this feels like a sports cry right now. I am really mad at myself that I did not stick with my guns last week. Do not go to Kansas City. You just lost embarrassingly to the Bucs, embarrassingly at home to the Packers. You have no chance against the Chiefs. You got 7,000 things happening off the field. Call up Roger Goodell. Tell them you're not coming. Yeah. You're in the afternoon window. This is going to be a nightmare. Just stay home. Work on doing everything you possibly can to beat the Denver Broncos in Week 4. Just don't go.
I almost wanted them to go to Germany. I wanted them to go to Germany for this game.
Yeah, imagine if you had done that.
Yeah, that would have been
They
fun.
would have been better off being the first team in the history of the NFL to not play a game. Should not have gone.
John in the chat saying Greg Bags. And then William Kane brags in the bags.
Well,
Good thing their eyes were forward, though, all
I don't
week.
know what you're talking about, though, Carm. I was hearing this morning that the energy was as good as it's been, and Matt Eberflus was invigorated. And
great energy.
It's a great week of practice. Wait a minute.
So do you think...
Wait, what year is this? Did I get in a time machine?
So let me ask you this. Do you think that he actually believed that, or was just saying it just to say it and hoping somehow miraculously it came true? Like, which one is it? You could also take the rational standpoint and say, you know what, they just played the defending Super Bowl champs who might have a back-to-back in 3 of the last 4 years, and this is exactly as far away as the Bears are from being elite in the NFL, and it kind of has almost, 12% to do with coaching and 88% to do with the talent on the team.
See, I would just hope that if you didn't believe it, you wouldn't tell a reporter all that.
Okay.
Because, like,
I would agree.
If I was living in a world where, like, the walls are crumbling around me, I don't know that I'd be, everything's great. But that's where this gets tricky. Because does he think everything's great?
Right. I'm wondering if he just lives in this alternate reality.
It's his philosophy.
Like, if he was on the Titanic, would he be sitting there saying that the thing's not going down?
Yeah. For those of you that are not sure what we're referencing here, first of all, there was Friday's press conference where Flus gave off, like, everything's fine here, everything's good. But then there was a story from Ian Rappaport this morning where he had a one-on-one with Matt Eberflus as he was headed to the airport. And this says, again, this is from Rap Sheet's piece. As he finished Saturday's walkthrough, Bears head coach Matt Eberflus lauded his players for how they handled it all. Sounded a hopeful tone that this would end up being a galvanizing event for his team.
I don't think it turned out that way.
And he was far from the only person in the Bears building who spoke of the positive energy the week generated. That's the line that gets me the most. Come on.
There was no positive energy.
Come on. Look. I totally, someone who's worked in this business, who also coach, like, I get, like, tuning out you want to say we're tuning out the noise. We're building this wall around us. We're going to come together as a team. I get all that. But there is no way that anyone can argue that the week the Bears just experienced
Sorry, my bad.
generated positive energy.
It was so positive out there, man.
What? Come on now. Come on.
I am Fields.
Come on.
And Fields too. Like, what is playing your type of game and loose look like? You'll see. He should have been like, you'll see in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you'll see when we get back from Kansas City and we play the Broncos, who gave up 70 points.
It was the worst week to be saying anything, and they literally were saying everything. With the defensive coordinator fiasco, it would have been the perfect week to be like, we're not talking this week.
Can we start there? Hell, please wear the bag the whole show.
I'm going to wear this bag the entire show. Maybe the rest of my life. I'm going to be driving down Lakeshore Drive. What is this? You want me to stab myself now?
No, yeah.
You need to cut a hole for your mouth.
Kato,
I think it sounds better this way.
hold on. No, this is a terrible idea.
Go ahead. I'm going to be driving down the Dan Ryan in a little bit with a bag on my head. So good luck to all of you on the streets.
I don't know if this is a real news report or literally the Onion. Based on early returns, the response was what one would hope. A Bears source said the team's energy has been, quote, incredible. And Eberflus said Friday's practice was, quote, really sharp.
That's great. Here's a suggestion for you.
What are we doing here?
And I know that we're in the middle of the NFL season and maybe you don't have the best candidates out there. But hey, Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, first things first, hire a defensive coordinator. I don't care who it is. I don't Lovie Smith, Pat Fitzgerald, Adam Hoge, anyone. Put somebody new on this coaching staff. Tomorrow, I would. If I was Kevin Warren, I would be sending Poles a text right now, or I'd be in the room. Give me your 3 candidates of who you're going to talk to, and I want to know the final 2 by Tuesday.
Forget hiring people. Start firing people. Why are we hiring more people? We need to be firing people, Mark, not hiring. Listen to Bagman.
Well, okay, excellent point. But I'm like the hiring is a firing. Anybody new in here? I'm ready. Let's go. Give me a defensive coordinator, please.
I mean, in all seriousness, this was where we were going to start the show. If you're Kevin Warren right now,
calling up the Big Ten.
Can I have my job back? What? Like, you're getting on this plane home with the team. Maybe you decided to fly by yourself. Maybe you're like, you know what? I'm actually going to get myself a United Airlines ticket and go home with the fans. But whatever way you get home, where do you start here if you're Kevin Warren? I mean, this needs to be a serious question. What do you do? Because that is the only thing I see different from. I've covered this all before, guys. I've seen this. I said it this week.
Yeah.
Can I say what I would do if I'm Kevin Warren? All right, what I'm doing.
Bag.
Okay, bag boy, go ahead.
Bag man. What I would do, Kevin Warren, is I would walk to Ryan Poles' office tomorrow and say, look, you have 2 games. Bagman's giving you 2 games. And if it looks the same, I'm firing people. Period. Bagman's being nice. I could fire people tonight, but I'm going to give you 2 games. And then you're gone. People are getting fired before the 10-day layoff after the Thursday night game. That's what I'm doing if I'm Bagman.
Steven, our producer, I saw put in the comments, Greg Baggs Jr.
I mean, I think that's actually a great thing, though, by the way. Yeah, we got the season starts.
Bag by bag.
Bag it up. Season starts again next Sunday. Denver. They just lost by 50, and then you got Washington 4 days later.
Yeah. You know what my first question would be? Honest to God, if I'm whatever meeting they have tomorrow, if I'm Kevin Warren, can someone, anyone in this organization, can anybody explain to me how we didn't interview Mike McDaniel? Like, let's start there. Like, where did that failure happen so that we can make sure that doesn't happen again?
That would be an interesting one.
Because he wasn't here.
Explain to me how we hired a coach that is a defensive-minded guy who, by the way, the only time we can get a turnover is when Blaine Gabbert plays. Thank you, Blaine. To
Bears
the ball. T hits. We got 2.
Bears got 2 takeaways. It's a win.
Yeah.
Can I say this now before the press conferences start? I will literally throw up if I hear anyone try to spin the fourth quarter as any type of positive to carry into next week.
That's 50-50 that he might say something.
It might be 70-30.
Well, we really liked how we finished. We didn't give up. We battled throughout the fourth quarter.
We were intense. We took the ball away.
Fields, he made a definitive decision to hit DJ there, and we got in the end zone. And it's good to get in the end zone. So our eyes are forward, and we're on to Denver.
I will walk off the show an hour and a half early if he says that.
Then it's just these two. Come
on.
What would you help me out?
What would you want him to say right
Bagman
now?
will do it.
How's this? All right.
Just take some accountability. We're looking at everything this week.
Right.
Everything. We are going to get 0 minutes of sleep tonight. We're going to meet late into the evening and figure out no one on this team is safe right now. We're going to look at the effort of everyone involved. We're going to look at our coaching staff to see what the best solution for fulfilling the defensive coordinator spot is going forward, to get better play calls, to get more out of our quarterback. Just go up there and tell the fans that you give a shit. Not everything's great. No, yeah. Our defense coordinator had to resign for reasons we can't talk about, won't talk about, and clearly are uncomfortable. But everyone's great. Yeah, we didn't need to have a team meeting over it. No, we just told everyone individually. It was fine. 24 hours later, evidently players didn't know what the hell was going on. But, yeah, no, it's all good. Like, stop lying to everyone, man.
Right. To your point, as we zoom in on Bagman,
it's hard to check my phone.
There's no selling needs to be done right now. Just straightforward, somehow grounded honesty, something along those lines.
This is accountability week. No more pointing the fingers. Coaches don't point the fingers at the players. Players don't point the fingers at the coaches. Players don't point the finger at the fans. Everybody stop pointing fingers. Be quiet and play some football. When they ask you questions, give them the PR line of crap where they don't say anything. Just be quiet. Nobody will be mad.
No, you can go to Hell's Hall this week then.
I'll go to Hell's Hall with the bag on my head, and you don't have to say a word to me. And I will applaud you. Then play some football next Sunday, and that's it. No more talking.
I can't do this show. All right, $50 super chat.
Matt Peck made money betting against the Bears today and paid $5 to super chat our show saying that he's done.
Yeah.
That's a great
contribution.
Money well spent.
Right there.
Thank you, brother.
Winnings well spent from DraftKings. Richard, $50 super chat. Fellas, wish I had some positivity right now. At least I have time to focus on school. Being a Buckeyes Being a Buckeyes fan, I cannot imagine how Braggs is right now. I'm at a loss for words.
I'm not great, Richard. I'm not great. I have a bag on my head.
Defense looked like they were really trying, but out of their league. I just don't know.
There was...
to be honest, like, if the defense had a chance fully healthy, like, their whole secondary was dead by the end of the game.
And you know what, dude? Jaquan Brisker, I'm a huge fan of you coming out last year. Dude, I still have high hopes for you. But to be finger waving in the third quarter, down 40! Can we just stop and play football?
That was awesome. They got a false start. 9 was fired up. Did a little dance. Well, I love you, 9.
That was their definition of a stop in this game. Jay Toasty, $4.99. I think we are going to start 0-9, and I have told myself this is good. Caleb Williams, you are a Chicago Bear. Nice win, Cardinals. Great loss, Panthers.
It's unbelievable that as a fan base, we already have to consider the scenarios of Tankathon when we already have a first-round pick from another team we can root for the tank for. But instead, we have to consider this scenario that we were in last year where the best-case scenario is that we just lose as many games as possible. It's pathetic.
Yeah, but this time they have 2 picks that they can use to pass up
and then
the best player in the draft.
Yeah. I really got to itch my nose.
You can take it off. You don't have to do the whole show.
I am wearing the bag the entire show.
Well, then you can't complain about it.
Okay. All right.
Fair.
Deep breath. Deep breath. Okay.
We have to do DraftKings King of the Game.
Oh, God.
Here
do we
he
have
comes.
that ready or no? Should we save it?
Do we have that ready? Sort of.
Well,
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
do
I
we
do.
have ready?
I
Sort
do.
of means
I mean,
Bagman
do you really want
thinks
to do
you
it?
don't have it ready.
Yes, let's do it. This is amazing.
Okay. This week's
There you go.
DraftKings Queen of the Game is Taylor Swift, who had herself a performance like no one else. She was the most entertaining part of today's game. Fox made sure you knew about it too. And she...
I mean, was there anything worse than Greg Olson and Kevin Burkhardt attempting to, like, talk about what was going on? Like, you knew the producers were telling them, like, you gotta reference all this, and they're like trying, and they're like, yeah.
I'll admit to this.
I'm the problem. It's me.
There you go.
There it is.
That was one of the great responses we got.
When Kelsey found a blank space in the end zone and she was sitting there screaming, "Let's effing go!" I wanted to puke. It was like, okay. I can't. There's a certain amount I can take, but that was it.
But please,
congrats to Taylor.
please,
And
all of you watching, that's 3,000 of you. Please hit the like button
Give
for
us
me.
a like.
I made a Taylor Swift thumbs up. Come on. Thank you.
We asked you guys at halftime on our CHGO Bears Twitter account. You should be following us at CHGO_Bears. Which Taylor Swift song best describes this game? Got some great responses. Senjin, I hope I'm saying that right. You Need to Calm Down. I think that's directed at Braggs. Rachel Rosenthal said, "Look What You Made Me Do." The Irish Bear Show. Shout out to the Irish Bear Show.
Hell
Great
yeah,
people.
Great dudes.
They said Picture to Burn. It's a good one. Justin Orlowski used the lyrics from Anti-Hero, "I'm the problem, it's me," and it was a gif of Matt Eberflus. Karen went with Blank Space, which a lot of people, that was a popular response. The Reverend K. Fids, Death by a Thousand Cuts. Some of these I don't know are actually Taylor Swift songs, so bear with me. Just Casey's over there. She'll give me a head nod.
that's big.
I Knew You Were Trouble from Alex.
I knew you were trouble when they hired Flus. Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba. Don't go getting a defensive coordinator to lead you. Honestly, though,
Teardrops on My Guitar.
don't know that one. Casey should sit in right now and just sing these and put them in Beardom. Yeah?
Bears fans are blaming themselves.
So, let's talk, can we talk about that? Like, just as a fan base, right? As a fan base right now.
I just want to get Shirtless Wonder.
Oh,
Naked
Kevin.
Guy,
Kev.
Whatever you want to call him. He's our guy across the way. He threw us $99.99 to say big group hug, ... shirtless.
Why is the
Everybody-
shakedown? I can't see him.
Everybody should go to the store and have a drink on Kevin for that. Not on him, but to buy a drink at the store
I
for,
was going to
for
say,
Kevin.
he just gave us $100.
Body
No.
shots?
Go to the store.
Body shots from the shirtless guy?
Go to the store. See
Whatever
Kevin.
works. He's the
For
best.
Thank
those
you,
of
Kevin.
that are just tuning in for the first time and looking at a person with a bag on his head, we have a resident across the alley that never has his shirt on and goes out and has
very
a
impressive.
smoke or 2 or 3 or 10, and he's a big fan of the show, and he's our neighbor. And
He's
we
a
love him.
diehard.
He's a
Good
diehard.
diehard, and he owns the store.
The bar in Lincoln
We appreciate
Park.
the super chat.
Very much appreciate the super
No.
chat. Become a diehard just like Kevin, the shirtless wonder.
So let me ask.
Oh my God, this from Brad Biggs, which I guess is not that surprising. The Broncos, after having 70 points hung on them at Miami, open as 2.5-point favorites over the Bears.
Wow.
For next Sunday's game at Soldier Field.
Wow. Well,
and that's what I mean, that's why, like, to me, I'm not firing anyone today strictly from a logistical standpoint. They all deserve – so many people deserve to be fired or to lose their starting spots today. Enough's enough. But from a logistical standpoint, if Bagman wants to try to be rational, you got 2 games before the 10-day layover. That's your opportunity to assess this dumpster fire, get them out of here, have a contingency plan for when you reset after week 5, if this is how things are going to go.
let's all remember that the Lions last year started 1-6, and now they're up top the division, and they had a chance to make the playoffs last year. All right, I just want to talk to the fan base for a second, because we were, as a fan base, so unbelievably optimistic.
Yes.
If somebody said 7 wins, they're like, how dare you? It's 8, 9, 10. And if somebody had gone even further than that, said, I think that they'll win 5. You were like, you seriously might have been thrown into Lake Michigan and like tied down with rocks. and now, if you polled Bears fans right now, what's the most popular number of how many games they're going to win? 3, 4, right? So I just think as a fan base, we got a little crazy in the old offseason.
We got a little ahead of our skis.
We got a little believey.
A little bit. And that's why this team and today's game, for me, is the most embarrassing moment for me as a Chicago Bears fan. And there have been many moments that have been very embarrassing, and we don't have to go through the laundry list of moments. We've all experienced them together. But this is the first time I've worn a bag on my head. So I would say this is the most embarrassing moment in my life as a Bears fan. You just, to lose the way you did, the expectations going into the season, as you just mentioned, Carm, are a big part of it.
Which is crazy that there was, expectations.
No, it wasn't crazy.
It was.
It's unacceptable that this team is as bad as they are with the additions they made. They were a better team last year with a much worse roster. They have completely let go of the rope 3 games into the season, where you added the likes of DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, Nate David, all these different, whatever. You can poo-poo it all you want, but at the end of the day, they are a better rostered team than they were last year, and they aren't showing a modicum of the fight they showed last year. And it's demoralizing, and it's pathetic.
Braggs is right. I mean, they were December of last year, when they had already basically traded away their whole defense.
They were fighting. That's true.
They were beating the Green Bay Packers in the second half before losing by 9. They lost by 5 to the Eagles, who went to the Super Bowl. They lost 35-13 to the Bills, but if you remember that game on Christmas Eve, that was still much closer than that till the fourth quarter. It wasn't really until they went to Detroit on New Year's Day where they got completely blown out by the Lions, where things started to fall apart. And I want to bring up something else you just brought up. Can we stop with this Lions nonsense from last year and how they started 1-6? They lost by 3 to the Eagles in week 1.
Well, they should have won games. You're absolutely right.
They beat Washington. They lost by 4 to the Vikings on the road. They lost by 3 to the Seahawks. All of those games, let's see, they scored 35 points, 36 points, 24, 45. It wasn't until that weird game in week 5 where they went to New England and didn't score a point. They got shut out 29-0. Then they lost 24-6. If I remember right, those 2 weeks they had a bunch of injuries. And then they come back, they lose by 4 to the Dolphins. And then they go on. So my point is, there were some signs, especially in those first 4 weeks, that the Detroit Lions were close. This does not look like a team that's close.
Excellent point. And remembering it back now, it was like Dan Campbell's making some really weird decisions, and they should have been winning games. So that's an excellent point. And look,
I mean, and then to top it all off, sorry, Carm, to cut you off, but to just put the cherry on top, you consider the whole roster being worse.
What are you putting a cherry on top of?
Well, the cherry on top of this point of why the point of why and why it's so demoralizing, because not only was the team playing harder last year with the worst roster, but Justin Fields was a better quarterback last year with a worse roster, and this year he's a worse quarterback with a whole offseason with Luke Getsy, a whole year under his belt, all these new weapons, all this work they put in, and he has gotten worse along with the team. And we've said from the start, all that matters is the quarterback's development, and he is crumbling.
Well, and that's the question. If I was Kevin Warren, I would be asking Ryan Poles, how exactly do you explain? I would say I'm legitimately curious. I'm not even looking to assign blame. How do you explain to me how we are worse right now? I'm interested. I don't even know what he would say. We had guys hurt in training camp, so we didn't really get the synergy going on. I mean, what could he? Because
you can
what would
lose.
You say?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's all positive energy.
I mean,
you can lose. You cannot lose like this.
That's what I said coming into this week, and I'm sorry, but we're here, guys.
We are.
I told you this was either going to be the galvanizing game, as Flus was trying to sell you. None of us believed it. Well, you guys said the Bears would cover. Well,
not
Braggs
him.
did.
Braggs had it 42-19. He had the biggest blowout.
Wasn't even close. I should have said worse. What was the final score?
I'm an idiot. It was 41-10. You were right there, man. You had them scoring 42. They scored 41.
And they hadn't scored. I don't think the Chiefs had scored 20 points yet this year, right?
I forget what they scored in the first game, but it was
No, they
low.
were averaging the same amount of points as the Bears were.
Right. They hadn't scored 20 points yet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you guys are getting the same exact text, but it's disaster. This is the worst I've ever seen him. Fire Eberflus immediately. His defense blows, and he's incapable of coaching Fields. This is done. Please don't put the fans through this anymore. I think I got 100 of these.
Well, when we get to our intervention segment, I'll tell you a text I received.
I
have gotten texts from pretty much everyone I know since Wednesday, and everybody. Guys, pregame before Carmel played Mount Carmel on Friday night. Jordan Lynch is the head coach of Mount Carmel. I said hi to him. Haven't seen him in a long time. Didn't even know if he remembered me from when he briefly was on the Bears. Immediately, we're 10 minutes from kickoff. He's like, "What's going on at Hal's Hall, man?" Everybody in the world is like, "What is wrong?"
Yeah.
Everyone is just like, "What is happening?" Not just with this team, but with this organization. Again, how are we here again?
It's my head's spinning at how fast it's happened. I cannot.
And you are right to it's fair to be how in the world could anyone have predicted success this year? By the way, Casey, if we could delete that prediction thing we put up on Instagram a couple weeks ago.
I've got them all.
That'd be great.
Every single person in the company.
Well, you're not going to be any close either. You're going to be 7 games off.
Right. I'm an idiot. Because I got to 7.
But what I was going to say is this is the same thing that happened in 19 when everyone got on me for predicting 13 wins, which looked just as dumb. This looks dumber, by the way. But no one in the world thought it was going to be like this.
No.
Nobody
Right.
thought, and maybe someone would have said, 0-3 is possible, but they're going to be close. You're going to see a fight there.
You would have thought heartbreaking loss to the Packers at home, another heartbreaker to the Bucks, and you lose by 7 to the Chiefs, and you're 0-3 and you're sick. Instead, it was completely embarrassed week 1. Did have
against your rival at home without Aaron Rodgers. And Jordan Love doesn't look that good, by the way.
Who then lost the next week and to Atlanta.
Only won today because Derek Carr got hurt.
And miraculously pulled out a victory today because the Saints lost their quarterback. Right. So, and then the second week, it was a 1-score game, but everybody knew it was just not going to end well, and then it ended disastrously. And then we got to learn about how it actually wasn't the same exact formation they called for the 7th straight screen pass. It was a different formation that was called. And now this week, oh my God, these guys are so excited to compete against the best in the NFL, to go down there and see how they match up against the Chiefs.
Okay.
Woof. Wow.
I recommend everyone just grabs a nice Goose Island right now, opens it up. I got the Goose IPA.
Bagman approves.
It's very good.
I mean, I
very
want to
tasty.
talk about the quarterback. I want to talk about a lot of things, but yes, let's.
I'm in the middle of an
drink
ad
We're going
read,
to talk
but
about
thanks.
Goose
Yeah.
Island first
Yeah.
there, Old Man River.
Guy goes underneath there, and I can't even argue. You're right. No, that's fine.
He's in the bag of trust. He can say whatever he wants under there. CHGO is supported by Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer since 1988. Got such a good lineup. Oktoberfest, the Beer Hug family. We got a bunch of different beer hugs in our fridge right here at CHGO. 312 Wheat Ale, the full pocket pills. Of course, I got the Goose IPA right here in my hand. Grab ultra fresh brewery exclusive beers at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer.
And shout out to our guy, Charlie the Bacon Guy. He's based out of Woodridge, Illinois. He makes the craft bacon and the bacon jams. There's 30 different amazingly delicious flavors. Product is always AAA delicious and all natural. No fancy preservatives. All the good stuff in here. Just get yourself a ton of bacon. It's vacuum sealed. It freezes great. It lasts in the package up to 45 days in the fridge, 6 months in the freezer. So, you can eat it every day, or you can just pace yourself. The bacon jam lasts 60 days in the fridge, usually 20 seconds, by the way, in Charlie's house, but up to 6 months in the freezers. Ton of delicious flavors: maple pepper, French toast, chorizo, the jardiniere. All of it is amazing. The bacon jam basically goes on anything: scrambled eggs, toast, crackers, burgers, grilled cheese, or Charlie's favorite, which would be the spoon, which is delicious. He'll deliver it to you. He'll meet you halfway. He'll ship it. He will get you the bacon. This guy will go the extra mile, as you see by him becoming one of our partners. His Instagram is at Charlie the Bacon Guy. His Twitter is at CZ the Bacon Guy, or you can just email him, charliethebaconguy@gmail.com, and just tell him, like, hey, Charlie, I know you're a diehard Bears fan, and I know you got amazing bacon, and I want some, and let's eat it together and get through this. Charlie the Bacon Guy.
Hey, Law, can we put up that tweet I sent you earlier? We could put a smile on people's faces here for a second, because I just wanted to show this. For the second year in a row, a big group of Jeff Dickerson's friends, family, neighbors all got together for an outdoor watch party, tailgate, the JD tailgate. Our friends at Obvious Shirts put their JD merchandise back on sale so people could refresh some of that. I believe it's still up there at obviousshirts.com if you need it. But really cool just to see a lot of people I know too there. And I understand that they're watching us too right now. So they flipped over from the game to the CHGO Bears postgame show. So hello everyone watching, and
JD,
I guarantee you're having more fun than we are right now. So good job.
JD was the best, and I love the fact that he just made an appearance on our show. So thank you for underlining that. And for a zillion reasons.
His coverage is sorely missed.
Sorely missed.
Well, I would have loved to hear what he said, what he would have said all week long.
It's a dumpster fire.
Mostly off the mic.
He always
He was a disaster.
He always did such a great job of giving the proper perspective with a little bit of levity injected into it. So
you know better. What were you expecting?
Yeah. What'd you think?
So anyway, hopefully everyone over there is having a good time, and depending on how long this show goes, which could be 4 hours tonight, maybe I'll make it over there.
If this show goes 4 hours, Bagman might pass out.
You don't have to wear it the whole
Let's
show.
go 4 hours.
We'll do it.
There is also an intervention. Now Bagman's spending money to give his thoughts through comments.
And by the way, Chubbs earlier said, I'm $2 from Chubbs, thank you. I'm waiting for the sweat stains on that bag.
What does that mean?
Well, you're going to sweat through the bag.
You're going to sweat through the bag, you goof.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So
Get Richie back in here.
I didn't even notice this. Oh, should we get the super chat? Okay. $25 from Richard. Can't stand the negativity. Need everyone, including Lawrence, to say one good thing that's happened. Bears are not this week. Might as well send the rest of my gas money. Also, Carm, sorry for the
late night drunk.
Richie and I have a Twitter convo going on.
You text each other late at night?
I mean, Richie texts late at night, and then I get back to him and we talk. Or he is a diehard of all diehards. I'll for you $25, and just for you, period. Even if you hadn't spent it, something positive. Trenton Gill tonight. I mean, that dude was booming punts every week.
Well, yeah, that's been our guy the all 3 games.
He stole Hoge's. What's Hoge gonna say now?
Like I said, the spin zone, the bagman spin zone is they have every opportunity for the next week to turn this ugly sinking ship around. You have the opportunity.
Do they?
Desolate? Yes. The Broncos gave up 70 points. Our bar is so low now that we can't envision a scenario of beating a team that gave up 70 points.
Greg, Tyreek Hill was on that field.
Get to work this week. All right, so you beat him by 20 points, not 70.
If the Bears win by 20 next
Be
week.
quiet. He asked for positivity, Hoge.
That's
That
a good
true.
point. That's
That
a good
is true.
point. I apologize.
Respect the super chat. Yep. They have every opportunity
Go ahead,
in
bag
front
boy.
of them to turn it around this week and win a goddamn football game.
Yeah. 1-3. Let's go. It's right in front of them.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Great positive energy.
I'll say this: I got to
yell.
swim in a pool yesterday. It was warm out. Little Indian summer action. Can I say Indian summer? Indigenous people season. Thank you, Richard, for the super chat. I was in a pool.
I ran into our guy Barger from Barger's Beef yesterday.
Oh!
Out on the water.
How was the Jardinera?
And ran into him at Blarney Island, and he said he'd come back and bring us some more food. So that's my positive thought.
That's good.
We love him.
Food.
So,
Food's good.
I could go for a nice beef right now. Just beef for everybody. Yeah.
What's your?
Yeah, there's 3,500 people watching the show right now. How many people have liked it, though? 708?
700?
That's a 1 out of 5. Not bad.
708, the old area
We can
code.
get
All right.
over 1,000 here real fast,
All right.
I feel like.
All right. I want to ask a real question as we all 300 of us can just try to think. What's the logical? What do you do with the quarterback right now?
You guys are still trying to save the season. Okay.
No, I'm not
Oh.
even. I'm not trying to save the season. I'm trying to save the quarterback. Is there?
I got to be honest right now. I have no idea what to make of what the quarterback did today. I'm not sure it was bad.
It wasn't good.
I'm not sure if it was good. It was like almost nothing happened.
Bagman confused.
Look, he threw a really nice pass to DJ Moore early. That got dropped.
Yeah.
The next play was a tip ball interception. He
There
did have a
wasn't-
nice throw late to DJ Moore. I don't necessarily care about the touchdown.
The left-handed catch that was on the money. That was a good throw. Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
the throw down the sideline. The reason why I count that in garbage time was because it was tight coverage. He threw a good ball. Like, okay.
Yep.
Hit his guy.
So you're not. You don't think that he moved the needle in a negative way today?
I don't know. I need to go back and watch the film. That sound like
You just went coachy, but
I know.
coach.
God.
I'm sitting. What I'm saying is I'm confused. I don't think it was good. I'm not trying to make any argument that it was good.
I got it.
But I guess my point is, was it? I'm more confused about what the hell they were trying to do offensively. That I think that this is still more scheme than
I mean, how many
running out of
design runs did we see today? 3?
for Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Greg Olsen was talking about that on the broadcast. Like, there really wasn't much changed up. It didn't seem like.
Right, which is they're sticking to their plan. And the other thing is the holding onto the ball, the going backwards, the just overall lack of definitive making choices and just looking lost out there was very much right in front of everybody to see. So I'm not saying that it's they don't have to make the decision tomorrow, but we're getting later and later now. And now it's like to dig him out of this hole. There, do we have it up? Is that on the screen? All right.
Fields guide.
There's your Fields guide.
I love that you've been here for over a year.
Well,
You
I
still
don't
haven't
know.
figured out which
I
one's
know.
the preview screen and which
Really
one's the
not,
live
yeah.
one.
Okay, fine. He's 11 for 20.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm impressed. I'm not even mad about
Thank
it.
you.
for real,
Thank you.
though.
I don't know. I think it switches around, but maybe it doesn't. Okay, fine. 11 for
The
22.
one-
I
It
don't.
says
The one
preview.
says preview
Yeah.
mode.
Bag
The
man.
other one says live.
Bagman can read.
Never knew that until this moment that there's a yellow thing that says preview mode. Okay, thank you. Now I got it. All right, 11 for 22, 99 yards, threw the pick, threw the touchdown late, was sacked 3 times. He rushed for 47 yards, so again he hit the under. Quit betting the over on him.
Son of a bitch.
Idiot. Love you. And I bet the over in the first 2 weeks. And I, by the way, all my bets lost again today. And I hate to say this, but just fading the Bears, you would have gotten rich the first 3 weeks. And like that was such an easy, like they're overhyped. This is ridiculous. Take the Packers, take the Bucks, take the Chiefs. Bet against the totals.
So then why would you not take the Broncos next week?
Because the Broncos are so unbelievably bad, too, that it's like a scary bet. But the 2.5 points, okay, fine. I'll take the Broncos. Giving 2.5. That is, where do you think that line goes to? By game time next week, where do you think it's sitting at?
Well, that'll be interesting to follow because the reality is the Broncos did give up 70.
The Broncos gave up
70.
70, and they're 2.5 point favorites on the road, and they're winless.
On the road.
They're like the third team
That's
ever to
not
score
good.
70 in the NFL.
That's incredible.
Carm, do you remember when the Bears beat Washington 73-0? What was that game like? I know you covered
Yeah, you
it.
were there, right?
Here comes yeah, it was amazing. 1940 was sweet. Luckman was firing it all over the place. Hallis, like afterwards, he like gave everybody a raise. It was incredible.
You were probably a hell of a tennis player back then.
Okay. Teddy Spitler? Spitler. Carm has too much patience. Good organizations have standards. Would a good organization keep a coach that has lost 16 straight? We are a 6-7 team with 3 wins this year. Is a 1-win team.
Well, and I'm not going to be disingenuous when it comes to – I understand they've lost 13 games in a row now. But I was actively rooting for them to lose games last year. So I'm not going to pretend otherwise and now lump the losing streak in with my angst now. All I'm focused on is this season. I thought they accomplished what they accomplished last year correctly. They competed, ended up with the number 1 pick. But this year is indefensible. And that's why I'm going to try to be rational. Instead of firing everyone tomorrow, to me, all the coaching staff could be fired tomorrow and I wouldn't blink an eye. But if you want to give them 2 more games, I think that's the most fair as you can be to coaches that to a coaching staff that really doesn't deserve it. And that's as far as I'll go with it.
Let me. I wanted this super chat addressed. Eric Forcell, $4.99. Is Justin Fields the next Taysom Hill? The design runs didn't come until Getsy hit the panic button. Is there any part of you, when I was watching the Saints play and they're playing 2 quarterbacks, anybody want to do that? Anybody want to play Bagent and Fields? I know it's an exhausting, ridiculous, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but like there's part of me that would be interested in seeing it. Let's play them both.
Oh, man. You know what? It's like no matter – my brain just went in 1 second while Braggs was talking. I was thinking about last year, and now I'm thinking about like the next quarterback, and it's just like we keep making the same mistakes here, right? Like, so Braggs, like to your – what you were just talking about like last year, well, I understood what they were doing and they ended up with the number 1 pick. Like, it's not hard to argue that they still didn't put Justin Fields in a great position to continue his development. Right?
Yes, they might have created bad habits.
Right. So that's one end of it. And now it's like, oh, you guys want to throw Tyson Bagent into a similar situation? Like, I just find it hard to believe that D2 Tyson Bagent's going to come in here with this team.
Right.
And
I don't want to see it.
An offensive.
well, you might want to see it, but that's the same shit that gets ownership in trouble when things are going bad. And I'm not saying Nagy and Pace were right, but we want to sit Justin the whole year. We think he needs to sit, learn the game, learn NFL Open before we throw him to the Wolves. And by week 3, it's we got to throw him. We got to play him because even though he gave him no reps in the preseason.
Yeah, but
like,
the more operative question, though, isn't that it's about what Luke Getsy and the coaching staff, where are they at with Justin Fields? Because they're about to get fired. The fans would have them fired tomorrow.
They're not about to get fired.
I don't think they're getting fired.
They're not about to get fired, dude. Seriously.
Okay. I think it's closer than you believe. You said in the live watch-along, this is the Trestman era. Well, Trestman got fired. So to me,
it's the end of year 2, yes.
Right, but we got a new sheriff in town in Kevin Warren. Is he going to allow...
Well, you think Kevin Warren is going to override Ryan Poles? Because Ryan Poles is not firing Matty.
Well, he's giving me some semblance of hope that there will be some things different in this organization.
Well, I agree with that, but I don't think that's certainly not happening anytime soon. Now, could they be looking at this offensive situation and Kevin Warren sitting there going, getting in a meeting room with Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus and going, are you guys sure that Luke Getsy's the right guy here? Right. Is there anyone else that can do something different? Anyone else have different ideas?
Do you think Luke Getsy's just going to lay down, or is he going to go down swinging? Because we've been through this before with other quarterbacks where Jay Cutler at the end of his rope, get him out of there, and let's get a quarterback that's going to run the system. Mitch Trubisky, get him out of there so we can get a quarterback to run Matt Nagy's system. Luke Getsy's not going to go down laying down.
So you're saying he's going to...
I think I certainly think there's a part of him that's like, I'm not the problem. I mean, I think that's human nature.
Well, what are you saying he does about it?
Well, that's what I'm at. That's the $1 million question, because you guys brought up Tyson Bagent and 2 quarterbacks playing at once and all this crap. And to me, is he going to get to a point where he says, enough, this guy isn't wanting to run the system I want to run?
He's not doing that.
Okay, well, I'm asking the question.
Yeah, I don't think that you're going to see Getsy sit there and say, like, I can't win with this guy. He can't do that. It's career suicide.
Well, I mean, he's literally about – I mean, you guys don't think so, but if they're 0-5, I think there's a very good chance, at the very least, that Luke Getsy is fired after week 5, if not the entire coaching staff. I think that is absolutely on the table.
Well, I think that's your fan heart speaking over there, brother. And
yeah, well.
I do think that they're in a situation – where if it's this bad offensively and Justin Fields looks this bad, that you might get put in a situation where somebody does have to be made the scapegoat.
Okay.
Okay. Because if you lose to the Broncos and the Commanders next couple weeks, and again, it's always what does it look like, right? Like, there was a scenario the Bears lost today where you're feeling okay about things. Justin's turning it around. You got some things going offensively. You played a good game. And it was the opposite of that. This was the Trestman 2014 scenario where the wheels just came right off the rails. Like, it spiraled. Greg Olsen said during the game, spiraling out of control.
The only thing the Bears did right today in my mind is that at least they played everybody to the end of the game. Don't put Nathan Peterman out there. Let Fields, as long as if he's not concussed, which apparently he wasn't, even though he left the field for a second. All right, you're playing through garbage time. Let's not act like we don't need any chance of work that we could possibly get. So that's speaking.
We're getting super chats that said that.
That what?
I think this is D-Tech Nation is saying stuff coming out of the press conference.
So, D-Tech Nation, $5. Eberflus did do the positive spin. Fields literally said, I don't know if y'all know, but the Lions started 1-6 last year. FML. There it is.
Yep.
Well, we should play Hoge's rant on that.
Well, yeah.
But that's all they
did. It was just me stating
And what's
facts.
amazing is a player is going to that before the fans.
Again, the Lions were in all 4 of their first 4 games last season, scoring a lot of points. Why don't you just read that instead of showing it to me?
CHGO Bears. So this is Nick tweeting out from Kansas City. This is from Eberflus. Quote, that locker room is tight, and it's going to have to be tight now. There's a lot of outside noise. Matt Eberflus.
Is it really tight, or Do you just want it to be tight?
You got DJ Moore being talked to by a Bucks player saying they're not using you right, and then he's like, "Yeah, correct."
I mean, so Hoge, you did not see that clip?
No, I did see the clip.
I was asking
Locker room's tight, huh?
because I asked you in the watch along, and it wasn't clear if you had.
You're talking about the clips of the Bucks player.
Correct.
Last
you
week.
said it was pregame, but I thought it was
It
postgame.
was pregame. They're literally warming up.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's why I'm asking.
I didn't hear the part that you said. You seem to be hinting that Bears
Mark,
fans.
tell them what the video looks like it said.
He knows the video.
No, the video is a Bucks player saying like
They're
hi
not-
to DJ Moore and saying they're not using you right, dog. That's all I heard. You seem to say that someone could hear DJ Moore say something in response, which I did not hear that part.
Did
It
you-
was quoted that what DJ said. He's like, I know, but like I listened to it. I couldn't tell what he said. I don't know how they exactly.
Okay, well, that's why I'm just trying to get
yeah.
clarity because you referenced it.
I think you guys are making a way too big deal of a pregame video.
Fred, a friend of Carman. I had to get some work done this afternoon before going to services tonight, so I wasn't able to watch the Bears game. Being Jewish has its advantages some days. Have an easy fast for my.
Yeah, one of my buddies who
for my
watches the
Jews out
show a
there.
lot. He says he's at Yom Kippur dinner tonight, so he will listen later.
Right.
Hi, Rosie.
I won't. I will be missing tomorrow's show for the holiday, but I had to stick out tonight, so hopefully I'll be atoning for that sin after I get off the show.
You don't need to atone for the Bears doing this.
Thank you, God Hoge. I appreciate it.
I mean, I think I'll give you a pass.
No, he understands.
You're doing hard work right now. You could easily be like, sorry, I gotta go. You know, it's a Jewish holiday, and I don't need to be talking about.
No,
this
no, no,
nonsense.
I'm not.
You're here doing Bears fans service. You don't need to atone for that.
Thank you. You know what was funny to me this week? One of Getsy's comments, and this might rankle some Bears fans in the wrong way, but I'm going to say it anyway. He said, quote, what we do here is really important, and it just matters to a lot of people. I'm like, no. Don't talk about like you're curing cancer or something like that. This is the toy department, and we all are very invested and want to see you win. But like, I need some more perspective than that. I'm sorry. No. What you do here is not important. It's entertainment. It means a ton to you. It means a ton to Bears fans. And I get it. Like, you're putting so much into it. But it's just a weird comment to me. What we do here is really important. You're not a doctor.
Chuck Pagano was asked something like, and I swear it was like he found out a player wasn't available or a player got hurt. And he's like, yeah, I can remember where I was for 3 things. And he brings up the Challenger explosion, 9/11, and this player getting hurt.
Are you
It was like, what? what? Come on. Like, I know this is your life and this is your profession, but let's have some perspective here.
My wife is a nurse. Are you trying to say that her work is more serious than what I do?
No, Meg boy, I would never say that.
Good, because I don't know where
Clearly.
my knife is, but
I gotta be honest. I have this feeling that at some point in the next half hour or so, he's just gonna slump over because he won't know that he's
Just
passing
fall
out.
asleep.
It's true. You're risking your life
No,
right
he's
now.
gonna
This is
pass
very
out.
important work. Very important.
Yeah.
and if you want to keep being entertained and watching these Chicago Bears, make sure you hit up Fubo TV at www.FuboTV.com/CHGO. You can watch it with this bag on your head. 140 plus live channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. Getting tired of DirecTV? Get the satellite out of here. Hit up Fubo TV. Stream live TV from any device. Watch the most Chicago sports for the lowest price. Start watching immediately with a free trial. No contract, no cable, no hassle. Just sign up and start watching. 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge, so you can tape every one of these Bears shit shows. Watch local teams while traveling. You got college football coming up next week. Big Ten's in action. Northwestern won a game. Hey, how about it?
Go Cats.
Bears next week. They're going to beat the Broncos, baby. Hit up Fubo TV, and you can have some fun watching that from any device. Again, sign up through www.fubotv.com/CHGO.
And if you're not
Who
enjoying...
knew we just had to put a bag on his head to get him to do, like, reads?
It's my
I
job.
swear to God, it said Hoge on there. You just, like, took it.
I took that.
Actually, at first I thought he was just doing it off the top of his head.
Which was
And I was really impressed.
It was amazing. And if you don't find this funny, then you really need to go get yourself some Sunnyside, which is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. It's a place where all kind of visitors are welcome to explore Bagheads, Bragg's Heads, Brick by Brick, everybody. We got the high-quality products for you at Sunnyside. Everything you need to get through this Bears season. Seriously.
If I walk into Sunnyside right now, with my bag on my head, will I be arrested?
Probably not. No, they
I
understand.
mean, they probably don't want a guy with basically a mask on walking in.
I mean,
so, you know,
yeah, but
he
it's
might get tackled.
They no, but they understand.
Just write CHGO on my bag.
You should go in there and get the Good News gummies, and they've got a rechargeable vape pen that it's in card. It's perfect for great moments for you right now, Braggs. High Supply, Wonder, the Remedy. Get yourself over to Sunnyside. Get through this Bear season. Now through October 15th, head to sunnyside.shop. Use the code CHGO25 at checkout. You get 25% off. 25% off, team, of your total order. One use per customer, not stackable with other promotions. Not only for new customers, anyone can use the code. So you've been there before, you're coming on back, use that code. Pick up everything you need to elevate your football season. You'd have to be 21 or over or an Illinois Med card holder. Sunnyside is premium, delicious, tasty cannabis for your Bears season. Thank you. I feel better just thinking about it.
When our pregame show ended earlier and I got up, actually it must have been like during the watch along, I walked over that general direction. I know people watching can't see where I'm pointing, but our GM, Jake Flanagan, is
We're going
He's
there?
going through it.
The biggest Bears fan of all time.
this guy loves the Chicago Bears. Evidently more than Bragg's. His office right now looks like a 5-year-old's like Bears fan room. It has literally everything you would think would be in there, except an actual like toddler bed with like the
race car bed. The Kirk Van
like a
Houten
race car bed
special.
with like bear sheets.
We need that.
There's 7 different fat heads, a giant Justin Fields thing.
He's leaning in, man.
And
I
love them. I love it. These are the people that deserve better than this. I talk about this every week. I know I do, but I can't imagine what's going
He's
through.
sipping pina coladas on Meatball Island. He texted me earlier.
What'd he say?
Well, we were talking about something else that I'll keep private, but then he said, bear down as long as you don't give up on the Bears. Undefeated October, now loading.
So this is what I'm talking about. This man needs an intervention.
Well, I did the CHGO Sports Podcast with him and Kevin earlier this week, and he got mad, good old Jake, and was basically saying, if you want to jump ship, but we're going to be here. We ain't going anywhere. And I guarantee you, as he's sitting in Flanagan land right now, he's saying the same damn thing right now. They weren't going to beat the Chiefs. Doesn't matter. I had this down as a loss. We're moving forward. And as he said to Braggs, undefeated October. Let's go. Forget about – what's that?
Yeah, that's what we're talking
That's
about.
what we're talking about.
Settle down, Kato. You're not catching
I'm not putting you in there, Kev. I did the CHGO Sports Podcast with you and Jake. Both me and Kevin looked at Jake like he was crazy. But we appreciated his fandom. And there's, as you see, his office.
It's
Go Bulls.
Live look.
And then it's really, I don't know who helped him, but the Bears sticker above Justin Fields' arm is crooked, and it really is pissing me off.
Oh, Bagman.
Like, get a level out for Christ's sake.
Well, maybe that
ain't dead nuts, I'll tell you that.
When did he do that?
That's what I'm saying.
Last week.
Last
like
Friday?
Thursday.
Night.
No,
think it
I was here
Thursday
Thursday.
night.
It was Thursday
Late.
night.
He did it Thursday night.
Yes, because I came in Friday and I asked Joey, our super producer / graphic man, what the hell is that? And he said, we all helped him put this up. He's crazy.
Just know that is the general manager here, and that's who we are being led by, and that is what this place is about. We are.
That's why he's the perfect GM here.
I mean,
We are going to. We are just going to hold out hope for all of our teams until
It's like when we return to Meatball Island.
they all move to Nashville.
When we
like the
return to
White Sox.
Meatball Island, we're gonna find Jake's skeleton just sitting there like it's over. You know, like you do in like an Indiana Jones movie where they find like the lost treasure, and the guy is still sitting there holding the treasure, but it's a skeleton.
listen.
Yeah. Should get some super chats here.
I mean, there's so many here. Let's go back
some
to
good
the
ones
top
in there,
here. I don't know. I mean, there's should we do the $20 ones? I don't know. Do we want to do this one?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, here
throw
we
'em
go
up
from
there.
Oscar.
Bagman will read them all.
Let's.
Yeah, go ahead there, baggy boy.
Ryan, this is not easy. Ryan Poles should be fired. I love the show, but I feel like all offseason and during the draft process, you guys in particular babied him. He's drafted and signed nothing but horrible players. It's time. He should be gone.
Oscar. He's been here for 3 seconds. You cannot fire the GM right now. Seriously, you cannot. And they should not fire Ryan Poles.
Like we talked about earlier, like, did they do Justin a disservice last year by the way they put the team around him and they ended up with a number 1 pick? But at the same time, they didn't just they traded back and got Darnell Wright and DJ Moore, but they got a future first-round pick. And, like, say what you want about what's been going on.
No.
But the one thing you can say about Ryan Poles is he's at least still setting up your future. I mean, how many picks do they have in the top 64 picks next year? They're accumulating what you need to, but it's the things they needed to go their way to lead to that point, and just throw gasoline on the fire is not working out. But he's at least setting up your future.
Well, listen, if we want to pick apart all the moves, it doesn't look great at this point.
But here's the problem, and I know like Adam Johns wrote about this week. We're just headed down the same path. Like, I'm not sitting here saying anybody deserves to be fired. I think it's too soon for that. But whenever the decision is made, that I hate to see it, definitely seems like we're going down the path of need a new quarterback again, right? Is that fair? Like, I'm not sure I'm all the way there, but that's...
If you had to bet right now, this day, if the Bears extend Justin Fields or don't extend him, you would. I think the logical bet would be you'd say no.
So now you've had this regime have 2 years of essentially lame duck Justin Fields. All right, well, now we got to give them their chance to get their quarterback. So then we go through the whole process again.
Right, and I think some fans...
And then they get the rookie quarterback who inevitably struggles because he's a rookie quarterback. And then they're still not winning games after 3 years. So now it's time to fire them.
But that's
So
why
then they bring in a new regime, and now they don't like their young quarterback. So now they get a couple years to try to work with this quarterback who they're stuck with. And then that inevitably, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right, they roll over one problem into the next.
You know whose job it is to stop this? Kevin Warren.
Kevin Warren's. Because they did this with Jay Cutler. They should have wiped the slate clean when they got rid of Phil Emery and Mark Trestman. They should have got rid of Jay Cutler right then, right there. Start over with a new GM, head coach, and quarterback. They had their opportunity, and instead, because they're like, what are we going to do if we don't have Jay? And instead, they roll Jay Cutler into John Fox. Then they get rid of Jay Cutler. John Fox rolls into Mitch Trubisky. Then they get rid of John Fox. Mitch Trubisky rolls into Matt Nagy. They get rid of Mitch Trubisky. Matt Nagy rolls into Justin Fields. They get rid of Matt Nagy, and then Justin Fields rolls into Matt Eberflus. They'll get rid of Matt Eberflus. This is the cycle.
Bagman's got that all written on the inside.
I understand. Right. Whenever they do reset this thing, hopefully they'll do a full reset, and it'll...
But then that equals getting rid of Ryan Poles, too, which I've been
Correct.
And that's a tough one for me because I've been a big Ryan Poles guy, and
Ryan Poles is going nowhere, Briggs. You don't have to worry about it.
Well,
he's going nowhere.
Well, I know that, but the healthiest thing to do, especially if they, by some miracle, ended up with the first pick in the draft again, is to wipe the slate completely clean. But I agree with you that I don't think Kevin Warren's going to do that. He might get rid of the coaching staff and the quarterback, but I don't think he's going to get rid of the GM.
That would be up to Ryan Poles, and then you have those conversations. Look,
Look, I hate to say it, but the only thing you can do right now is salvage whatever you can out of Justin Fields at this point.
Right?
The problem is you say, okay, well, fire Luke Getsy. Then who?
You're not firing Luke Getsy.
Andrew Janocko gets promoted to OC. Like, who's fixing Justin Fields here? Or the easier thing to do is fire the quarterback. Maybe they get better. But I'm not saying that that's what they should do. I'm just saying, like, they're stuck, man. They got nothing. They keep trying this over week and week and week.
Look, there is nothing for them to do other than to get on the plane, come back, say nothing all week, and beat the Denver Broncos and win a game and end what is now a 13-game losing streak. And don't say anything like there's no carryover because half the team wasn't here. Well, half the team was. So I don't expect to hear from Ryan Poles again this week, right? That would be insane. Fluce's press conference should be very short. Justin Fields, when he gets up there, he should almost do his I love content. I hope we get it. But he should almost do who's the running back in Seattle whose name is Skittles?
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, he should do a Marshawn
Beast
Lynch
mode.
He should do a beast mode act this week, and just I'm on to Denver. I'm on to Denver.
Exactly.
That's all. That's all they should do. 1999 for Michael Rudzina. I will always be a Bears fan. I love this team. The colors and logos and memories make me so happy. My first memory was Super Bowl 20, but I don't know how to pass this on to my kid. But I don't know how to pass this on to my kids. Okay. Michael, we're around the same age. I remember coming down Super Bowl morning and thinking to myself, there's absolutely no way the Bears are losing this game.
He said his first memory was Super Bowl 20.
Okay, so I was a little bit older.
Not his 25th.
I was 12. Thank you very much. If we're gonna really name it, but just look. Can you let that comment sink into you? I came down on Super Bowl morning and I knew there was no way they were losing.
Yeah,
that's what that was.
That sounds nice. That's how the Chiefs felt this morning when they woke up.
Exactly. There's no way we're losing to this team. No way.
That's part of the reason why I feel like some of your generation, the older generation, is kind of in the bag on it.
What do you mean?
Listen, in the bag on it, no pun intended. You at least, because like for me, as from a Bulls standpoint, I know this is the extreme because they won 6, but like I'm not like desperate like Matt Peck and Big Dave. Like if they win a championship, of course, I can't wait for that next day. But I saw 6 NBA championships. I got to live that. I got to see the greatest player to ever play sports every day of my life through the 90s. I've never gotten to see the Chicago Bears win a Super Bowl.
No, it's different. I get you.
And that's really hard for those of us that were born in 1985 and after. I was 2 months old when the Bears won the Super Bowl. So I have spent almost 40 years.
Yeah, no, I got it. I saw it. You didn't. Great. Yes. But look, this is a very, very dark moment in the franchise's history. The question is, does it get worse from here this year, or does it actually? Is there any level of righting the ship, which seems crazy to say? Like, you're 3 games into the season. They're gonna say exactly what they're doing at the postgame. I should have predicted it. They're gonna move forward. They're gonna say stupid stuff like, or they're gonna try to be positive. Say they'll look at the Lions last year. They'll do exactly that. They'll do, and that's.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm confused at what you're saying. Are you buying that this is? they're going to turn it around, or what are you saying?
No, I'm not buying it, but I am saying that like we're 3 games into the season. You got to play this thing out. There's no one's getting fired. Nothing's happening.
Well, I agree with you.
You got to write it out.
Let me give you a couple quotes here from Chris Emma. Matt Eberflus, quote, "I'm not making excuses because we should be farther ahead."
Thank you.
That's a great start.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I got to read the second sentence.
Oh,
But we are playing together for the first time. Practicing together for the first time. We're going to see it come together.
good Lord, Matt Eberflus.
Just if you
Half of these guys were here last year. They're in the second year of this system. What? They've been practicing together for 2 months.
And again, we said this last week.
4 months if you include OTAs.
Again, we said this last week on the postgame show. Who is he saying this for? The players are rolling their eyes at this quote. They don't give a shit that he's painting this nice rosy-colored outlook. We just haven't practiced. That shit pisses them off.
Hold on.
He's saying it for damage control for himself.
Hey, Braggs, let me just say this, because I don't think the players pay any attention to what he says to the media. The bigger concern is what he actually says in that room.
I promise it's the same thing he just said right there.
And I agree with you. That's where I've been like openly wondering, is this guy going to lose the locker room? Because
Jalen Johnson said it last week.
Right, exactly. So Jalen's out there saying, I'm tired of hearing the same post-game things. That's not necessarily a shot at Flus, even though it's probably, at least partially is. But he's been hearing the same thing from Matt Nagy, too. Like, he's just been here a long time and a lot of losing. So, I just wonder if Flus's delusionalness, like that they're just sitting there like looking at him like, dude, what are you talking about, slick hair? Like, what are you doing there, hits principle? Like, I guarantee you that they're not all sitting there on the edge of the seats when he opens his mouth like, I can't wait for this guy to inspire me. I don't think he has the locker room like that. I don't know that, but that's just my sense.
Here's the quote from Justin Fields, courtesy of Chris Emma. Quote, all we need is one. All we need is one to get this thing going. The Lions started 1-6 last year, and they almost made the playoffs. Just keep that faith. In the big picture, it's the 3rd game of the season. We got 14 left, at least.
At least! There it is.
Meanwhile, Jaquan Brisker was banged up in this game. Jalen Johnson left and did not return with a hamstring. Tyreek Stevenson left with an apparent concussion, was being evaluated for concussion, came back in, then left. The team called it an illness.
Okay.
He's throwing up because he's concussed.
Right.
Yeah, and Josh Blackwell left with a hamstring, so you add Eddie Jackson and Kyler Gordon to that list. That's your entire secondary.
Right. Which
Gone. And did anyone see Tremaine Edmonds leave late in the game if you were still watching?
Yep.
Right, but
Sorry if you're still watching.
Well, some of them couldn't because Fox took it off the national broadcast for anybody outside of the Chicago area.
Yeah, obviously, because that game was terrible. Who the hell would want to watch that in the 3rd quarter?
I know, but it's just still so bad.
But when you let, that is all a built-in excuse that Poles has been talking about. We've got guys banged up. Flus is talking about, hey, we haven't played together. So.
Oh, it's so pathetic, man.
But they are missing Gordon. They are missing Eddie Jackson. They are.
The Arizona Cardinals, Robert Schmitz put it on Twitter. They just got a quarterback like 3 weeks ago, and they beat the Dallas Cowboys. Like, enough. It's so stupid. Our bar of expectation as a fan base, as a coaching staff, it's pathetic.
$1.99. P.S. Bring back Pace. Poles is unqualified. I never thought I would see that super chat, even if it's in jest.
Yeah, I'm not going to rehash all that, but I still believe that if Pace makes one different decision, and it was a bad one, it was a fireable decision. But if he doesn't make the Trubisky mistake, everything else he did, that's a Super Bowl team.
Well, if he had drafted Patrick Mahomes.
Well, right, but he still built an amazing defense. I'm not defending anything. It all played out.
Two decisions. Matt Nagy, too.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I don't know. I think if Nagy has Mahomes in that defense, it's different.
It is different. There's
I mean,
no doubt.
I'm not trying to rehash all that, but
$19.99 from Ethan Smith. That's a really interesting point you just made.
Bagman.
Didn't put the message in on the donation, but these guys can't coach the next QB, right? Caleb Williams can't be coached by Luke Getsy, Eberflus. That's
No, he can't.
you, Ethan. You speaking the truth, Ethan.
I mean,
If
Eric
it would
Bieniemy, you're on deck.
Greg Roman, someone.
I think Eric Bieniemy is going to be the name if we get to that point, which
Eric
we will.
Bieniemy wants to be a head coach, and
by the way, here's something else to bring up when it comes to the whole conversation we were having earlier about the passing off mistakes to the next guys who then become mistakes. I was thinking about 2016, which for some reason in my brain of all the years that I covered this team, I have like this void of anything that happened that year. It's like the most nondescript season
last
ever.
year of Fox?
No, it was the second year of Fox.
Second year of Fox.
Where they actually got worse. They won 6 games in year 1. They won 3, I think, in year 2.
Okay.
Which put them in position to draft Trubisky.
Okay.
And the relationship there with the head coach after 2 years. My point is they should have fired John Fox after year 2.
Okay.
And they didn't.
He played 4. It was 4 years.
He had 3 years. 3. 15, 16, 17. Matt Nagy was the head coach in 18.
I'm going to bet you're wrong, but okay.
Okay, well,
Whatever. Semantics. Move on.
No, it's turned into a bet because I know I'm right and Carm's wrong, so I'd like to win some money. Want to do a bottle of bourbon?
Yeah. $20.
No,
So
I don't. You're too confident. You're too
You're not allowed to Google. Make the bet.
I'm not. Hold on.
Gary Ross has probably already sent 3 texts telling you you're wrong.
Yes.
Regardless,
Okay, I'm wrong.
yeah. My point is, year 2 got worse, and Ryan Pace had as much trust in John Fox to not tell him what he was doing.
Right.
So if you want to talk about, which is why this is an important discussion to have, and maybe it's more of an important discussion to have after this year plays out, but still, you can't keep making these same organizational mistakes.
And that's why Kevin Warren is so key, because when you talk about that moment where they're keeping it from John Fox, who's the overlord? Who's the overhead there? George McCaskey. And whether he didn't know that was happening or did know and allow it is organizational failure at its peak. You allowed that. So now you bring in Kevin Warren to do what? The job you haven't been able to do. Let Kevin Warren do his job. And I want to see a president that is aggressive and understanding of what needs to be done. Don't sit on your hands until the offseason and wait for the dust to settle and start making decisions. The writing's on the wall. If it continues to go this way, make some sharp moves.
Just to read something from ESPN story today, just to do it. Houston Texans rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud made history during Sunday's 37-17 upset of Jacksonville. He went 20 for 30 for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. The outing made him the first quarterback in NFL history to have at least 900 yards passing, 4 passing touchdowns, and 0 interceptions in his first 3 career starts.
That's C.J. Stroud.
Stroud's production doesn't surprise any of his teammates. Tight end Brevin Jordan, who caught a touchdown pass in the win, pinpointed the game that ultimately led the Texans to draft Stroud and called it a franchise-altering day. The best thing that happened to the Houston Texans franchise was us beating the Indianapolis Colts last game last year. We drafted the right guy. Man, he's a leader. He's a phenomenal player, and he's a phenomenal guy with God-given talent. Dude, he's unbelievable. Well, I didn't think this was on the table, and I certainly didn't say they should trade Fields and draft C.J. Stroud. But if C.J. Stroud does go on to be what he's trending to be, that is a stain on Poles. Because you thought about making a trade. You looked at the quarterbacks out there. You didn't do it. I wouldn't have done it either. It was too risky. You hadn't set up Fields for success. It was impossible for you to judge him because your roster was so bad. I got all of it. But in theory, if there was a star quarterback there that they identified, then you would have made the deal. So that's in essence that he looked at this dude, said he was not. And then if he is, that means you did not evaluate him correctly. Am I wrong?
I don't necessarily disagree. I think it's a little bit more of a reach than the Jalen Carter thing.
Okay.
Because the Jalen Carter thing was, okay, you did make the trade. Now you have a future first-round pick. Now you have DJ Moore. You still have this huge need at 3 technique, the engine of the defense that your head coach says it is.
Right.
And he was probably the best player in the draft. And again, for the 1,000th time, this has nothing to do with Darnell Wright. I like Darnell Wright. I think Darnell Wright's going to be a really good player. But watch these football games right now. They can't get a pass rush or any type of penetration to save their lives.
1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. Okay, just threw it.
If you took a picture of a perfect semicircle, is there such thing as a perfect circle? I don't know. But a perfect semicircle, that's what the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line looked like as a pocket for Patrick Mahomes today.
I mean, we're all just sitting there staring like he's just like standing on a patch of grass and just waiting for someone to get open, and we're never going to get to him.
And there's a guy open. Okay, there's the ball.
Send 5, send 6, send 7. Give me a defensive coordinator, literally anyone.
Penetrating 3 technique would be nice.
Yes, that would help. Correct. And I agree. Hey, man, I hypocrite right here, me, because I said don't draft the guy, but it doesn't look good. It does not look good. And and to your point, like this is not saying anything bad about Darnell Wright. Okay, great. Darnell Wright's going to be a good right tackle. He got beat by Chris Jones today. Everybody gets beat by Chris Jones, no problem. But a right tackle compared to a 3 tech, I mean, we might as well be talking different sports at that point. It's just overpay for Mike McGlinchey, who's picking up penalties left and right, and get yourself a 3 tech. They had all the money in the world.
Braggs.
Bagman said.
Bag boy, you still with us?
I'm still with you.
$4.99 from Joe Calcagno. Is it possible that this is part of a larger plan? Maybe this regime was never into Fields, and maybe what we were watching was expected by polls. Well, Joe, I would like to spend more time with you so we can spin things in a positive way in everywhere in my life that I complain. Thank you.
I might be able to go along with that theory, but he signed Nate Davis, and then he also signed Yannick Ngakoue at camp. And maybe that's a throwaway signing, 1-year deal, you had money to spend. But those moves to me are a sign of we're trying to win now.
Well, I'm going to give him this. I'm going to go this far with him. The premise that we need to see Justin Fields 1 more year. And if it doesn't work out, we got 2 first-round picks. I can go along with that. I can even stomach the Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. It's really early on C.J. Stroud. I need more of a sample size, but it's looking pretty good so far. That premise, though, here's the things that still need to be. You need to know that, hey, this offense isn't working because of the quarterback. You need to know that that's the problem. The issue right now through 3 games, and I think it's what I said earlier when I said I'm confused at who to blame today. Is it the offense? Is it the quarterback? Is it the head coach? Is it everything that's going on behind the scenes? Like, I'm willing to go with you on that premise if, okay, look, the coaching staff looks pretty good. I think this is the right coaching staff. I think Luke Getsy's a hell of an offensive coordinator. We just got to get him a different quarterback. We got 2 first-round picks now. Didn't work out with Justin. He just didn't develop. Okay, fine.
It's a bad fit.
This isn't it, though, right now. there's too many problems to pinpoint it all on the quarterback. And so I can't go down this road that it's like this is how it was supposed to play out. No, this is not how it's supposed to look.
And to me, if you are Ryan Poles and you weren't sold on Justin Fields and you were like, well, I'm going to need one more year, you only get a shot to have a number one pick so many times. The idea that they'll get another one this year, it would be just as much of a miracle, if not a bigger miracle, to have it 2 years in a row. The last time the Bears had a number one pick before last year was in like 1947, and they drafted an insurance salesman named Ron. I mean, so you have a number one pick, and if you don't believe, if you're not 100% sure on Fields, as much as it would have pissed the fan base off, you'd have to draft a quarterback. So that I think he did believe in Fields. To this year, for it to all fall apart, and if they end up with the number one pick, I'm not going to be patting him on the back like I did last year, like this was all part of the master plan.
Look, they followed the Eagles' blueprint without the Eagles roster. Howie Roseman went, it's like, hey, Jalen Hurts, he's going to look a whole lot better if we can get some players around him. And so that's what they did. And he did. And, they ended up in the Super Bowl.
So,
and then, of course, that same Eagles GM was like, hey, anyway, we could just move up one spot there just in case of anybody else, and we'll give you this slop fourth-round pick for it. Great.
All right, I think we got Nicholas Moreano from Arrowhead. Let's bring him in now. He's been in the locker room in these press conferences, trying to get us everything that's been going on there. Okay, Nick.
I don't know. I'm a little worried about the audio here. Nick, talk to me. Can you talk to me? No, he can't hear me. I can't hear him. That's not good. Well, that's going about as well as everything else that would happen today. On my end, I see you're muted. I don't know if that's on your end too.
All right. Well.
Okay. Well, give us a thumbs up if things are good.
Nick, I'm going to give you this great homework assignment. Nick, if you can still hear me, there's been very little I've seen on Twitter coming from the locker room. If you could dump your notes into Slack, I will read them for you. I will credit you for all your great reporting out there, and that would still be a great contribution because I do have questions, and so we can still get some of those answers to the listeners. So whatever you got from your notes, please let us know, and we appreciate it.
He could have just put a bag on his head.
At least he got to watch a football game today, got to visit Arrowhead, and from what I could tell on Twitter, had a good time with Bears fans last night, got himself some barbecue.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a win. Nick didn't lose this weekend.
No, I'm sure. I hope you had a great time. This is, you don't know?
All right. Well, we're waiting for that, those things from Nick, and hopefully we can still bring to you. I have this question for you. Is there any chance Russell Wilson's not the quarterback against the Bears this weekend?
Who's their backup?
Jarrett Stidham.
Jarrett Stidham.
I
Former
can't
Baylor.
Why would they do that?
Former Auburn, right?
Jarrett Stidham's had some success. And Sean Payton, you want to talk about a situation where a head coach would be like, yo, I inherited this. This is not my problem. This is not my fault.
They have 70 points today.
I know.
They
only scored 20.
I think Russell Wilson is their quarterback next week.
Well, does Russell Wilson cook next week?
Yeah, that's what Bears on Kawhi is wondering.
Bears on Kawhi, 199. Who wants to bet Russ finally cooks next week?
I wouldn't bet on that. In the history of things that
You wouldn't bet on that?
That Russ cooks.
Have you seen this defense?
Fair point. I'm just
13 straight
like
now.
Eddie Jackson might be out.
Yeah, okay, great. Maybe Russ cooks.
Jalen Johnson might be out. Kyler Gordon's already out.
The only reason why I'm saying no is
Tyreek Stevenson might be out.
You know that we almost had Russell Wilson here for the record. That would have been a sweet do.
You should have heard the amount of picks I was willing to give up for Russell.
Yeah.
You guys don't know this story. Maybe I've told it before, but you weren't in here. We were doing one of our first ever CHGO Bears shows in here the day the Broncos traded for Russell Wilson, and our friends from DNVR were here. Ryan Koenigsberg was over there
Oh, they
The
thought they.
second the news broke, he was in Studio B over there with the window open, smoking a cigar.
The first ever show in Studio B was actually a DNVR Broncos.
It was.
that guy.
Emergency pod.
He was bragsing it up with his cigar, with his stogie in Studio B.
I got a cigar in my bag.
It was the biggest party I've ever
Fire
seen,
one up.
and it has not worked out well.
Didn't
Wow.
happen. All right, Nick's notes are dropped in. You want to go through it?
All right.
I'll start with Justin Fields, and take it from here, Hoge. Fields on what you can control. We all need to be better, and he said that I need to be better. Okay, got it. DeMarcus Walker.
Did DeMarcus Walker play today?
Has he played all year?
I seriously didn't think about that guy once.
I thought about him. I saw him sitting on the sidelines dejected, and I watched him on one play get his ass kicked. DeMarcus said, reality check, is it? The outcome wasn't what we wanted. Nobody wanted this. I wouldn't call it a reality check. Just got to keep working. 0-3, where do you draw confidence? All we need is one victory. The Lions started 1-6. I guess we're back to Fields. Big picture, third game of the season. Got 14 left at least. There it is again.
I was going to say, if that's more than one player mentioning the Lions thing, that sounds like something the coach said. But I don't know if that's the case.
And this is more Fields. Why has this been as bad as bad given the continuity? I don't know. I'm not about to answer the question, to be honest with you.
Still nothing there, Nick. I appreciate you trying again, but nothing. Keep reading.
Oh, wait. Here I got you. These are all from Fields.
Okay.
Apparently, Marcus Walker said this was a reality check, so the question was to Justin Fields, is that do you agree, basically?
Oh, I see. I got it.
These are all Justin Fields notes.
Thank you, Nick.
Yep. Do you need to change something? Got to focus on what we need to get better at. Focus on the details. There was one play where the guys messed up the formation. Be on top of everything. Be really locked in on every play. Are you still looking for an identity or just not executing the identity that is in place? I think both. The offense has had a lot of injuries.
They're leaning on the injuries.
31-point deficit. Looking at the big picture, looking at life in general. This past week had me look at the important things in life.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
I'm thinking about my life right now.
You should there, bag boy.
Bag man.
Eberflus.
I like this spin by Justin. Just trying to enjoy the moment, be able to play the game. Every opportunity is fun.
You're such a
Give
sucker
glory to
for a
God.
good quote.
Okay, here's
I mean,
Matty.
what else is he supposed to do?
He did the same thing last week. You're like, I like what they're
You know what
saying.
you know what he could do?
What could he
Play
do?
better.
Exactly. Stop talking. Play better. I think it's just you've been in the media and in these press conferences for so long. You like a genuine answer or whatever, some context, and everybody hates the Bill Belichick's of the world that don't say anything, don't give anything away. Connor Bedard, Jay Zawoski with our CHGO Blackhawks team said he's already mastered the art of saying nothing. Master the art of saying nothing. The
Stop
Chicago Bears.
telling
Stop
these guys
appeasing Mark Carman and Adam Hoge, Nick Moreano for all the great answers. Stop answering questions. Put a bag on your head and go play football next week.
I mean, it's going to be tough if he can't see the field without a bag on his head.
Yeah, I would recommend a helmet. But
I
all
can
right,
see just
Matt
fine.
Eberflus. It got bad so quickly. How do you describe it? That was the question. Flus said, did a decent job on the first defensive series.
Oh, God.
The takeaways also helped to get out of hand.
No
That's right. It
fucking
was the
way,
takeaways.
Man. There's no way that's the first thing he said. There had to have been other things he said before that. There's no way. Seriously, if he said that, give me a credential. I will walk in there with the bag on my head, and they can drag me out of there.
And they will.
They'll drag us all out of there if you do
I
that.
can't do this.
Oh, they lost some DBs. Got out of some of their packages because of it.
Huh?
Boy, these are a lot of excuses.
They're leaning on the
Holy
injuries,
moly.
baby.
Locker room needs to be tight now with the outside noise. 2 games in 11 days coming up. Problems in Fields' game. There's some good execution. It's not always on him. It's protection, routes, running routes the correct way. I hear a lot of things that should be blamed on coaching there, by the way, then. Executing as a whole unit. What is your honest assessment of how Fields played? Got to watch the tape. Damn it, I said the same thing earlier.
You are Floose.
No.
You're officially Floose.
No, you guys got to get in on the Hogeosophy.
Okay, what is it?
Drink more Goose Island. Watch a lot of tape.
Can I ask a question? Braggs.
What?
Bags.
Oh, here's a good one. The delay of game coming out of the half should not happen.
Should not happen.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
There's honesty.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
There we go.
You know what that reminded me of? 2020 with the Bears under Matt Nagy. How many pre-snap penalties did they have?
Oh, they
Out of timeouts.
They mastered it. It was amazing.
I mean, they would have delay games out of timeouts. It was fantastic.
Can you indulge me just for 1 second, Adam?
I have a question.
Because I know
too,
you
but go
guys
ahead.
are going to just completely bust my balls about, but just let me have this second.
Okay.
I cover Purdue basketball, and you guys like to make fun of me about that because they do terrible in the tournament. I understand that. But I love Matt Painter, and he is a hard-nosed coach who gives reality to his players, doesn't sugarcoat things, and the players respect him for that. This is what he said after one of the worst losing seasons. This was back in 2013. I just want you guys to understand what it sounds like when a coach takes accountability. And I quote Matt Painter, "First of all, it's my fault. It's my job to get guys to play together. It's my job to get guys to play hard. It's my job to get guys to play smart. And we don't do any of those. So that is my fault." He goes on to say other things, but that's the essence of his speech. That's what a coach does when he takes accountability. Not, well, we did this right and that right, and we haven't practiced together, and we're going to do this, and we're going to work hard, and we want the fans to still be behind us, so don't boo us, please, next week. Be quiet, take some accountability, and win a goddamn football game next week. Thank you for indulging me.
There you go. Ball.
Ball.
Do you see what I put in the thing? So we said this on the pregame, that if there was one person who would find Taylor Swift, it was Jared Payton. And guess who delivered?
JP got it done, baby.
JP. And if I'm listening, I was trying to listen. Sorry, Braggs. I was trying to listen to this video while you were on your awesome Matt Painter rant, which I appreciated very much.
You're fine.
He got a hey from her. Look at this right here. You can see it. A head nod from Kelsey.
Hey, how you doing?
You got a how you doing from Kelsey.
Man, he was fanboying out there.
And a hey from...
Did you hear his voice there? He was like...
I mean, if I got a hey from Taylor Swift,
They look together right there.
I'd be pretty excited about
that
it.
looked
I'm
like
not gonna lie.
didn't that look like a couple?
Well, I checked the hands. I was wondering if the hands...
No holding hands.
No holding hands. Casey thinks this is all a show.
Reaching out, touching me, touching you.
That's not a Taylor Swift song.
Please win a game.
Boom, boom, boom. It's been 13 in a row. So bad. So
It's
bad.
bad.
So
It's
bad.
I'm gonna die.
Da, da, da. We will see you at our tailgate so we
Please
can
come.
die together.
Bears fans, you going to the game next week? You got tickets next week? Do you go?
Yes.
Yes, you do, because you want to hit up our official CHGO tailgate, the best tailgate in the city, on the corner of Wabash and Cermak with our guys over at the CHGO Bears Tailgating Club. Make sure you go to allchgo.com and hit the events tab for all our upcoming tailgate events. But the next one coming up this Sunday is definitely special with the DNVR crew coming out. And if you become a diehard, you get a discount on that event and a free shirt right out the gate. We got a lot of sweet designs and options. at your disposal, and a discount for any shirt going forward. So you see the Midway collection that we brought out. Meatball Island, baby. Take the North one of these days. In Chicago versus everybody. Some sweet apparel along with many more cool designs, including a Walter Payton 8-bit shirt. So, like I said, discounts on shirts, discount on live events, including our tailgates. You get exclusive access to Adam Hoge's newsletter that he'll be putting out every single day this week. Mark Carman's.
Not every day.
Every single day, including Saturdays and Sundays. Not every day. But regardless, exclusive access to his newsletters. Mark Carman's. Grades on the game exclusively to you. A lot of things to offer if you join us here in the Die Hard family. Go to allchgo.com.
And tickets are going to keep on going down. $143 to get in right now.
I mean, tickets to week 1, the cheapest ticket get-in price in the secondary market was hovering around $400, pricing out any normal blue-collar working family. So the silver lining, if you're a fan that's never been to a game, is as they keep getting worse, the prices will get cheaper, and you might be able to bring your family to a game if you want to endure the sadness that's on the field. But if you just ignore that and go out and enjoy a day at the ballpark, hit up the Game Time app and go to Soldier Field and come to our tailgate.
All right. I think we have some super chats we still got to get through. Carm, you want to do your notes, or do you just want to rip your notebook in half?
It's a light notebook today, which I apologize, but let's just see what I wrote down here.
Okay.
Oh, Claypool from Fields. Remember that?
I do, actually.
It's a great play.
It's a good start to the game, and then I don't think anything else happened.
Yeah. There was a Komet end zone hold that wasn't called. I think we're having Cole Komet on Tuesday in studio, so that'll be an interesting conversation. The Tyreek Stevenson helmet-to-helmet was scary. The Brisker false start with Kelsey when he's doing a dance, that was amazing. Let's see. Fields' first run, when they actually let him run, I wrote down orgasmic. I was that turned on by that run because it's so
I
rare.
think that was a scramble.
Nah, I think I wrote it down in the design, but maybe not. I don't know. Carm doesn't want to do the watch party. You were.
I mean, that wasn't hard to read.
You guys were doing such a good job. I didn't think you needed me. I enjoyed coming on.
Kev, you want to take my seat? 5 minutes left in the half. Still no sign of Carm.
I perused over here.
I had a great catfish po' boy.
Yeah.
Did that make the notes?
I'll just fast forward to the end. Jerry Rice in that NFL ad, he looked like he was. Jerry Rice like 3 pounds left. The guy looks so unbelievably healthy.
I think that's what Bears fans want to do is fast forward to the end.
And
Did you see who was taking?
I thought that Matt Nagy looked like he's also in great shape. So
they barely showed Matt Nagy today. Kevin brought up the point on the watch along, and I think he's right.
One time.
I think the Taylor Swift stuff actually helped the Bears today.
You're right.
Took the focus off all the nonsense, off the Matt Nagy storyline, which they barely covered. It was all Taylor Swift all the time. She jumped higher than the Bears' defense did on the touchdown to Kelsey.
Then she cursed.
She did. She said, "Let's fucking go."
Taylor Swift.
I don't know. Casey's not buying this. I don't blame her.
She's over it.
Taylor, honestly, she should be looking at 57 and that sweet interception that got the Bears in position for the first points of the day. Still playing hard. Jack Sanborn should be Taylor's target, not whatever that Chiefs tight end's name is.
All right,
Sanborn.
super chats. Do we have to read all these or just?
I don't know. Let's do the $20 ones. How about that?
Okay.
Thank you so much for all the super chats.
Yeah, we
I think they've all
appreciate
been
all
on
the
the screen,
support.
right, Lawrence?
Yeah, they've all been on screen. Yes, we haven't read them out loud, but we'll read some now before
All
I
right.
die.
Big Cram, 1999. I'm broken, y'all. I never thought I would ever relive the Tressman Fox days, but here we are. They are such failures. They can't do shit right. We are seriously going to go 0-8. God, we're so ass. It's historical.
Big Cram, you will stay up. you will embrace the future. That's what we do over here.
Embrace the suck.
It's a double big cram. Keep going.
Shout out to you guys because us fans don't deserve this misery year in and year out. But, man, you guys have to unfortunately cover this BS. And on top of that, you have to deal with Carm trying to sing. I got 2 new songs coming.
Have a drink, guy. You might left out the have a drink part.
Have a drink, guys.
Have a drink, guys. We
Sorry.
appreciate it.
I
And
did.
hey,
It's empty.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. You know, it's not fun to cover a team like this.
Yes, it
but
is.
there's no complaining on this end. We're living the dream, and we appreciate every single one of you that come here to support the show, and obviously we all have a love for this team. And we're going to just gut this out until we get to better days because the champagne tastes sweeter once you've been through the shit. So just keep sticking with us, and we'll get there one day. Bagman promises.
Oh, this is fun.
One of these days.
Why did I not realize until now I could throw something at him and he'd have no idea it's
No
coming?
idea. Well, I see you on the TV, so try something. Delayed.
I see you on the
Another
TV.
one
That's
from
good.
Richard. $20. Sending T's and P's. What's that mean, Adam? Thoughts and prayers.
Hey, he got one.
I remembered that one.
Good job, buddy.
We don't deserve this crap. Oh, he's sending T's and P's to all Bears fans. We don't deserve this crap. To be this bad with an improved roster and looking like they've given up is nuts. I think it's on coaching. At least they tried last year.
Richard has another one I'm going to save till the end.
Okay.
Hang on, Richard.
What else we got? Michael, $20. If we have the number 1 overall pick next year and draft Caleb Williams, we need to fire this entire coaching staff so they don't ruin the poor kid. We will need an offensive-minded head coach.
If we have the number 1 overall pick, there will be massive changes with the coaching staff. I would bet a lot of money on that. But as far as any of that happening anytime soon, which is not what you're saying, Michael, I would be beyond surprised.
Interesting name of this person.
George McSucksies. $20. I'm so mad my team lost. Make sure you
Plebes.
please buy my
Plebes.
tickets and concessions next week.
The plebes, the plebeians.
Oh. I'm not a football evaluator, but boy, do I like cashing your checks. I promise you George is not happy right now, my man.
Yeah, wow.
He'll be in the South lot, though, next week with a smile on his face, hoping for the best. George will...
Well, by then they'll have another great week of practice with positive energy. And
Right. Exactly right.
the vibes going through. If you thought the vibes were good this week with everything that went on, wait till this coming week when, it's calm.
Their eyes are straight forward on the Broncos. Here we go.
Don, $20. Being a Bears fan is about as popular as a treadmill at a body positivity conference.
That's not nice.
Thank you, Don.
I'm working on it.
I literally read that without even thinking about what I was reading.
Yeah.
I turned in around Burgundy.
Everything's on the table right now.
Someone else take this next
Let's see. I mean, that's all the 20s.
If you find it right there, can you pull up Trey Tunes, my guy? Nope, go up
Yes,
a little bit.
yes,
I
yes.
apologize. Trey Tunes, our guy, my good friend DJ from our tailgates last year as well. Trey Tunes, $5 super chat. Are the Bears the worst team in the NFL?
It's on the table. What do the Bears do well?
Nothing.
I'll wait for anyone to tell me.
He
Seriously,
also
what do they
says-
do well?
He also says that we're coming up on the anniversary. He says September 25th, 2022 is the last time the Bears won. Oh, gosh.
No,
No,
that's
it was
not true.
October.
October 24th.
Oh, Trey,
Yeah.
you're scaring me.
Yeah. But it's been
Well,
330 some odd days.
We'll get there soon enough.
17, if they lose all 17 this year, which they're not going to do, but if they did, they would set a new NFL record for consecutive losses, which was the 1976-77
Well, I mean, and
Tampa Bay
like
Bucks.
next week is like dialing up to be reminiscent of that Texans game last year where it's like two teams early in the season that could potentially be the number 1 pick candidates. Who's going to win? Maybe the loser is actually the winner.
I just want to remind everybody, if they win next week, this is going to change in a dramatic way.
Yep.
Especially if the quarterback plays well.
Yep.
These are huge ifs, but
Win a game, we'll have some fun. Lose the game and
lose that game, then it's really going to get ugly. $9.99 from Alex Munoz. Had to explain to my wife why Braggs has a bag over his head, and then she asked why the Bears suck this year, and she's not even a sports fan. All right, Alex. Well, good job explaining, and the Bears are not good because they're not good at anything, as we were underlining. I hope you went with that
Braggs
line of
wearing
reasoning.
a bag on his head because he's a jackass.
No, you are a good human, and we love you. William, $10. At least I get to hang out with you guys next week at the tailgate. Looking forward to it more than this damn game. P.S. I'm about to change my profile pic. This shit's embarrassing.
Let's go. Can't wait to see you next week, William, Bill.
All right. Mojo, $10. I live in Green Bay, and I'm on the fourth Bears flag from Cheeseheads stealing them. At least reimburse me for sucking so bad.
Can we just they won the Niners game last year because there was a monsoon, and there was a miracle interception by Roquan late in the Texans game.
Yes.
Now, granted,
And they were the Texans.
And they were the
Who
Texans.
should have had the number one pick. But
So really, like, the only actual win-win
you could argue that Patriots win is the most confusing win in NFL the last 2 years.
in NFL history.
Not history, but
How the hell did they do that? They got to 3-4.
Look at today. I mean, the Cowboys just lost to the Cardinals.
yeah, weird.
No, but like
The
they
Jags lost to the Texans.
beat the Patriots. They were 3-4. Flus was getting hugs by Belichick. It felt like there was an outside shot they were going to be in the mix to be a playoff team. Yeah. They haven't won since. It's pretty amazing.
All right, I gotta call this.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. Yes.
What about $14.99 from Kevin Patterson?
Well, read it if you want.
I love Fields, but it's tough not to do a mock draft already this year. Bagman looks how I feel.
I'm
Thank you,
not doing a
Kevin.
mock draft right now. I just can't bring myself to
And
that.
this is
Bagman feels how
this
the
is
Bears
the
look.
one Richard sent that he really wanted me to read. He said, can I please get Carman Braggs to read Goodnight Moon to me? Will help me sleep soundly and not have nightmares about this franchise.
pulled it
Bear
up.
down, though.
I pulled it up for you.
I thought you would. I have it as well if you'd like me to do it. But
Go
In
ahead.
the great big room,
Yeah,
there was a telephone.
Okay. Oh. Do you have this off
Picture
the top of your head?
of the cow jumping over
No.
the moon.
No.
Did I already messed it up?
Yeah.
No, the telephone and something else.
And a red balloon.
And a red balloon.
And
Damn
a
it.
Picture of the cow, jumping over the moon. And there were
there's
three little bears sitting on chairs. And two little kittens.
And a
pair of mittens. And a little toy house. And a young mouse. And a comb.
and a
brush.
and a bowl full of mush.
And a bowl full of mush. And a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush. Good night, room. Good night, moon.
Oh, come on!
Good night, cow jumping over the moon.
Yes!
Give me the bag.
That's awesome.
Pass the bag around.
Good night, light and the red
No,
balloon.
it's my bag.
Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens. Good night, mittens. Good night, clocks. Good night, socks. Good night, little house. Good night, mouse. Good night, comb. Good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. Good night to the old lady, whispering, hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm very proud of us. I think that was nice.
I
I'm
legitimately,
confused how you said you were looking it up and you didn't say a word the whole time.
Well, I got distracted.
I legitimately busted my lip.
I was hoping that Braggs would hold my hand while you guys were reading it. That's what I was
I
going
can't
for.
see you.
And he wouldn't. You could see me on the screen.
No.
You wouldn't hold my hand.
All right, I got to go. The fun continues on Hogan Johns in 5 minutes, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
Because Johns has to get a ride from Mark Potash from the stadium, and if you don't do it now, there's no show. And we've gone here long enough. So we love everybody in the chat here. Thank you for being here. And all the super chats, great. You guys are unbelievable. I mean, seriously, this team, you are too good to this team. All the fans that went out to Kansas City, spent all that money, it's to watch that disaster. I hope you at least had a good time, and the weather was great, and the tailgating was hopefully great, and the barbecue was great because it's ridiculous. Hey, this is our vow to you. We will not stop, okay? Tomorrow, Herb Howard's here. Tuesday, Cole Clement. All right? Wednesday, Brian Baldinger. Well, more fun and surprises along the way as well.
Thursday, Carman brags.
With Hoge from Hallis.
With Hoge from Hallis.
Let me end this show just like this.
Good night,
Bear down, Chicago Bears.
Yes.
Make every
Play
play clear
field.
the way. Stop talking.
Okay.
Bear down, Chicago Bears. Put up a fight with their might. Stop being embarrassing.
Yeah.
We'll never forget the way you thrilled the nation.
Woo.
In 1942. Bear down, Chicago Bears. And let them know why I'm wearing a bag.
Yeah.
You're the pride and joy of Illinois. Chicago Bears. Bear down.